I'm doing this video from outside today, partly because it fits in with the theme of the video and partly because it's just really nice and sunny. The video that I'm posting up today is about when you have a crisis in belief. This isn't something I've heard a lot of pagan bloggers and writers talk about, so I thought, seeing as I'm having one at the minute, I'd post up about it. What I mean when I say this is when you struggle basically to feel a spiritual connection, when you struggle to do any sort of workings or ritual and you just literally having a little bit of a crisis and you can't seem to connect with your spiritual side or with your deity or anything like that, and it can be quite disconcerting, and I think it happens to everyone at some point in time. Is anyone who is keeping up to date with this blog, if you haven't just randomly stumbled across this video, will know things have got really chaotic lately. We've had a little bit of we've been starting up Wildfire, our own company, this year, to run alongside Hedge Witchery, and it's been going great. You know, we've had a lot of support from a lot of, loads of people. There's no way we could have done it without the support of friends, and we haven't got support from everyone, but from the majority of people. They've been absolutely great and encouraging and things like that, and we've been doing quite well, especially for a startup business. And the locals in the village have been great. They haven't chased her out with pitchforks yet, which is always a bonus. But recently, sort of, obviously, as you may know if you've been keeping up to date with these blogs, stop pecking me. Gordon was recovering from an injury all of last year and just about got back on his feet, and now he's shattered his other collarbone. Yay! Meaning basically we had to cancel a lot of events, and I'm running around like a headless chicken and panicking again. Just, there's so much to do, and bless him, Gordon's really not well, which is always hard to deal with. So yeah, people often find within paganism, because a lot of the ritual revolves so much around visualization work and connecting with spirit and connecting with sort of universal energies, whether you see them in the form of natural energies from the earth or with deity, it involves a lot of visualization and a lot of focus. Now obviously if you're stressed and your mind's running at 100 miles an hour, visualization and calm focus work is really, really difficult. So often, when you most need to do this work the most, you struggle to do it the most, and that can be quite a disconcerting thing, and it can be quite a difficult thing to deal with. Sorry, I keep getting pecked by Dandelion, my chicken. Actually, these guys are part of the reason that I'm out here, because the main thing that I kind of wanted, or sort of advice I would like to give for what my advice is worth on this matter, is that if you're struggling to, connect with spirit and deity, if you feel very distant and very disconnected with the spiritual side of your life, then one of the best things I've found to get back in touch with it is not to do any kind of visualization or focus work that you're going to struggle with, but to do stuff on a very practical level, on a very experiential level, that physically puts you in touch with your spirituality again. The reason I'm out here is, the last few days I've been feeling very chaotic and a little bit stressed, and if any of you have been keeping up to date with any of my sort of blogs or writing I've done on various mental health issues, I suffer from anxiety disorder, so it's not great. And the reason I'm out here is because I'm outside and it's lovely, and in places like this, which essentially your own back garden, you have everything you need to start to build that relationship and that connection back up. And people think, oh well, is it starting from scratch? And they say sometimes there's a feeling within themselves, that even if you've been practicing for years, people will have times like this when they find it difficult to connect spiritually. And the reason I've come out here is because this is real, this is experiential, this is physical, this doesn't involve sort of really focused work or any type of visualization. So this isn't going to get clouded by my mind running at 100 miles an hour. This is work I can do physically and practically. And it's not complicated work. I don't have to stress about remembering any long rituals. You just come out and you literally physically connect. So go, well, how do you do that? How, explain to me how you can't just go out and magically connect. Well, you kind of do, but you can kind of bring in little practical steps to help move that along a bit. The reason I'm sat here with Daisy and Dandelion, my two new chickens, just down from my giant rhubarb patch, which you can't see, is because over the last couple of days, when I know I've been feeling like this, I've been making an effort to eat eggs that these lovely girls provided me with. Made a mammoth rhubarb crumble. And people go, well, what difference does that make? And basically the difference it makes is you see energy coming from the earth, coming into food and turning into you. It's so easy to, when you're busy and you're stressed, you just grab comfort food, you grab ready meals, and it's just food that's there and you don't have to think about where it come from. And crucially, you don't see where it came from. You don't see the connection of where you're getting that energy that actually gives you strength to live, coming from the earth. And people say, oh, well, what if you're a pagan that works with deity like I do? Why is earth energy so important? Basically, the earth in the natural world is how we experience deity essentially, It's why so many sacred sites within paganism are outdoors. You see it all around you. Which again, when people say, how do you physically connect? That again, just literally come outside. You don't have to connect through, people go on about connecting through elemental energies, through visualising waterfalls in the ocean for water, and, visualising breezes and birds and for air and all this kind of thing. You don't need to visualise it, you just go outside. Okay, I'm sat here, there's like earth underneath me, there's lots of air and midges, because we're near Scotland. There's dewdrops and condensation collected on the logs and leaves, which is your water. There's a sun blazing in the sky, which is your fire. It's all here. And just by coming out and experiencing it and taking 5 minutes to just stop and physically note the elements and the energies around you, you already start to build that connection. And crucially, you feel that connection on a physical level. It's much, much easier with a chaotic mind.